My name is Lauren. I'm 32 years old and I live with schizoaffective disorder. Over the last 36 days, I began to use the ketogenic diet along with other metabolic therapies to treat my schizoaffective disorder. I had kind of mixed expectations starting this journey. Good morning. I've been consuming a lot more research and anecdotal evidence of the tremendous potential effects of this intervention on chronic mental illnesses like my own. But at the same time, it seemed almost too good to be true and a far cry from the currently accepted methods of treatment for psychiatric conditions.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's still early on in this experimental process, but the changes I've already seen in my experience of my illness and symptoms are kind of undeniable. I'm going to take you along with me for a day in my life using the medical ketogenic diet and metabolic therapies like exercise, focusing on sleep, no recreational drugs or alcohol, and social engagement as a means of treating and managing my schizoaffective disorder. Leftovers for breakfast? Chicken bake? This is the last fat bomb in the house.
That Mama was all.
Yeah, she ate all of the fat bombs.
Yeah.
Butt bombs.
Butt bombs? Butt bombs?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear those butt bombs.
Part of using keto as a medical intervention is maintaining ketosis, which is when your body has switched from using glucose as a fuel source to using fat as a fuel source and producing ketones, which is what your body and your brain use for energy. To know whether I'm in ketosis or not or producing enough ketones, I track my ketone levels through a few different ways, but primarily using this blood ketone monitor called the Keto Mojo. In addition to measuring ketones in my blood, it also measures glucose, and together, another measurement of ketosis can be produced called a GKI score. Basically, this score is a biomarker for tracking your metabolic health as well as your level of ketosis. And for medical keto for the treatment of a mental illness, you're looking for a GKI score of 2.0 or less to be in the therapeutic range. Super mom. Cool, I can't wait to read more. She's ready.
She's ready.
We're off to school. Off to school. Rob and I have been facing a particular life stressor over the last couple of weeks that we've needed a bit of extra help navigating. Stress management is a part of metabolic health, and so we've been taking measures like going to therapy more often together and separately. Today we have a couple session to help us sort through and manage the acute stressor we're facing. It's hard, but it was good. Go to therapy. It helps. Healthy way to deal with my problems.
She never makes you feel like you have things figured out.
That sounds like a bad thing, but I think
Maybe
that's actually a good thing. It's humbling,
Humbling?
and it keeps you reflecting on how to be a better person.
Okay. Yeah.
Do the work.
I want to come out of there at some point and be like, I'm nailing
nailing
life.
it. I'll show you the one thing that I've been craving desperately while on keto. You know, I haven't really craved much else, but this is the one thing that I do really wish I could still have. They're the most unreal cheddar scones you can find anywhere in the world, I would dare say. They're very, very good.
Miss the bread.
They're good.
We shouldn't be here.
We shouldn't be here. We can't come back ever again. The coffee's good too. It's still nice to get a bit of work done here. So we're just on our way to the gym now to get a quick workout in, but I thought it might be important if you haven't been following along on this keto project on our channel to share a bit more about why I'm doing this and why we're using metabolic therapies. It's really to do with kind of treating my schizoaffective disorder. I live with schizoaffective disorder, which is a combination of schizophrenia and a major mood disorder. For me, it's bipolar disorder. And we've been doing a lot more research and learning a lot more about how important metabolic health is to our mental health and physical health, but particularly we're looking at mental health and treating mental illness. And so we're using things like the ketogenic diet, as well as other metabolic therapies such as physical activity and sleep and stuff like that, as a means of trying to repair our mitochondrial functioning, trying to improve my mental health and hopefully be able to treat my mental illness. So we've just arrived at the gym and we're gonna go get a quick workout in to improve our metabolic health. Come along with us.
No fan?
Exercise has always been a big part of my life, and I've always found it extremely beneficial for my mental health and managing my mental illness. Viewing it more specifically as a metabolic therapy, I'm working on incorporating it into my life in a more routine way and understanding it as a necessary component of my therapy. So I'm taking you guys along today on how I do my day-to-day doing medical keto and implementing metabolic therapies and such as a treatment for my schizoaffective disorder. But it's really important to communicate that I am working very closely with a keto coach who specializes in this, as well as my psychiatrist and family doctor, to make sure I'm doing it in the healthiest way possible and the way in which I'm going to get the most therapeutic benefit from it. So if it's something that interests you as well, I would definitely recommend you connect with your care team around it. So I didn't leave myself a lot of time after the gym, unfortunately, but we actually ran to the grocery store to pick up some groceries, and then we rushed home and I threw together this lettuce wrap concoction. So it's lettuce wraps with cheese and chicken breasts, deli meat, avocado, and a good helping of avocado oil mayo. And then this is what Rob's having. Rob, what's in it?
Just a combination of leftovers, some ground beef, some asparagus, an avocado for the fat, and we had cauliflower mac and cheese last night. There wasn't enough for a full meal of anything, but yeah, when you put it all together in a bowl, it's kind of fun.
I also weigh and log all of my food in the app Chronometer, just so that I know what exactly I'm putting into my body in terms of macros, in terms of breakdown of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So that's kind of something that I've had to adjust to over the last month in terms of how I eat food. I get a lot of people's concern about how, that kind of intense tracking and measuring of what you're eating could feel a little restrictive, but it's really just involved more of a mind shift into being more intentional about what I'm fueling my body with and wanting to get that science kind of down to a science. I think that it's actually helped me to have more intuitive eating practices where I kind of know what to fuel my body with, and it's just a way of checking to make sure that the macros are in line with the therapeutic intervention that I'm putting into place, the ketogenic diet. So I'm quickly going to eat this, and then I actually have a meeting or a session with my keto coach, Nicole, right after this. Quite good. The med reduction has gone really, really smoothly. And doing well. So I just finished my meeting with Nicole and we talked about a lot of different things, including how I'm doing right now. And I found myself saying things to her expressing how kind of hard to believe it is that I am on the lowest dose of medication that I've been on in a very long time. Last time I was on this dose of my antipsychotic medication, things did not go well. But this reduction in medication that I've done over the last couple weeks or several weeks has gone really, really well. And I'm feeling really good. And it's just almost hard to wrap my mind around how much my experience of my illness and my symptoms is shifting and changing for the better over the last, I guess it's been a little over a month of switching to the ketogenic diet and really focusing on various metabolic therapies. We kind of just did an overall check-in about how, what I'm eating is going, if I'm getting bored of anything and new recipes and stuff, and how it's affecting my ketones and my GKI score. And then we also talked a bit about sleep, which is something that I've been a little bit concerned about. My experience of sleeping has definitely shifted, and I was describing it to Rob the other day as feeling like sleep is just kind of a waste of time and it's not something I am interested in doing anymore. And I get that coupled with my bedtime kind of creeping later and later over the last several weeks sounds a bit like mania, and perhaps it's moved a little bit in that direction, but I'm trying to be very, very aware of this shift in my experience of sleep and trying to stay on top of ensuring I get enough sleep, ensuring I get good quality sleep, and doing as much as I can to encourage that. So you guys saw me wearing the blue light glasses in the morning, trying to work on my circadian rhythm as it pertains to sleep. And I'm trying to do things, which I'll show you later, about getting off screens before bedtime, winding down with a cup of tea or reading or whatever it may be, and really focusing on getting to bed at a decent hour, even though I may not feel like it. So that's something that she's going to be kind of monitoring a little bit more closely over the next little while to make sure it doesn't move more towards mania or, increase symptoms or anything like that. But that was kind of the gist of our chat today. We have just a little bit of time before we have to go pick up our kids from school. I'm about to indulge in a bit of a midday pick-me-up as well, which I actually just talked to Nicole about too. And she shared that not everyone can consume this type of stuff. So I need to be more careful about what I'm showing you guys I'm consuming. But we found this like Zevia cola that have no sugar and they're completely sweetened with, I think it's stevia. No carbs in them. So that's been kind of a nice little treat. But she was saying that not everyone can tolerate stuff like that. And it can actually knock some people out of ketosis, or things like these things that we've been showing you guys on the channel too. These like peanut butter cups or keto sweets or whatever that are marketed as keto friendly, but sometimes can kick people out of ketosis. So you need to be careful. And what we did was we tested my ketones before consuming stuff like this, and then about an hour after, just to see if there was any shifts or changes in it. And there isn't really for me. So I know that it's okay for me to kind of indulge in these kinds of things. But yeah, be mindful of checking your ketones around the time when you are trying these stuff out. It's good.
Ingredients: natural peanut butter, unsweetened chocolate, cocoa butter, erythritol, inulin, coconut flour, almond flour, stevia, salt, sunflower lectin, and vanilla. So it doesn't have some of the things that
like palm oils and stuff like that a lot of other stuff have. That's probably not good for you. So these are like health food.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to take supplements 3 times a day, and I forgot this morning because it was really rushed. And then I also had a rush lunch, so forgot then too. So taking them now. But what I take are a good multivitamin. Take magnesium 3 times a day. I take L-carnitine, which basically helps, your mitochondria absorb fat. Yeah, something like that. And then I also take potassium. The magnesium and potassium are just kind of supplementing electrolytes. Yeah. This one tastes atrocious, the multivitamin, so I have to drink it with my flavored electrolytes because I'm a big baby and I'll throw up otherwise. So kind of like what I was mentioning about sugar alcohols or, marketed keto products that are more processed affecting everyone differently, I think that implementing the ketogenic diet and metabolic therapies in general are going to affect everybody a little bit differently. And that's a big reason why I really recommend working with a medical professional who knows about using keto as a medical intervention. I think that there's been a lot of troubleshooting that I've gone through with my keto coach, and she's been able to kind of steer me in the right direction when problems arise. And we're trying to share as much of these problems as possible with you guys here on this channel. But inevitably, other people are going to run into different kinds of problems than what I'm experiencing. Even myself and Rob have had very different experiences of using the keto diet, and we've come up against different kinds of problems. And so having someone there who can really help to guide you through it is really, really beneficial and probably necessary when doing something like medical keto. I haven't actually talked much about what my actual ketone levels are in this video yet. I showed you guys a little bit when I took the blood test of my ketones and glucose and GKI this morning, but I'm also wearing a continuous ketone monitor, which I can see on this app here. So I'm currently, according to it, sitting at about 3.8 millimoles per liter of ketone level. Now, this one I do find is always a little bit lower than the Keto Mojo, which is the blood prick test. That one I find to be more accurate, and it's also always a little bit higher than this one, but this one is kind of nice just to give me general trends. It's kind of interesting. You can see the dip when I worked out this morning, and then the subsequent spike after I finished working out, and that's kind of a common trend that happens with ketone levels and exercise. Do you want to share where your ketone levels have been?
Mine usually hover around like high ones, like 1.7, 1.8 to high twos.
I
don't usually get into like the 3s and 4s and 5s occasionally, but
I think it's probably not the norm to have that high of ketone levels. I think I have kind of weirdly high ketone levels. Like I'm generally in the high 3s, even 4s, and sometimes 5s. And that's kind of where I hover. But we've had Dr. Chris Palmer on the channel who specializes in this. Check out some of our videos interviewing him about this specifically. But he kind of said that above 1.5, I think.
And not even all the time.
And not even all the time, but most of the time above 1.5 is what he aims for as a therapeutic level of ketones in patients that he's treating with medical keto. I think you're okay, even though you're lower than me. It's kind of fun, a little contest, who has higher ketones. And
I always do.
The better GKI score, and the little overachiever in me kind of likes that element of medical keto. I gotta beat my score.
But actually, it's a very individual thing.
Yeah. Come here, kisses. It was just minus 40, I feel, in one of our videos, and now look what we're wearing. Climate change. Well, not him. He's a little overdressed. Okay. Hold my hand. Look both ways. Hey.
Also, tell me before you go in there.
What you eating?
This one.
Squishy? Yummy.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me.
We're making a recipe that we have for buffalo chicken tongs. We're using boneless, skinless chicken thighs that Rob is just cutting up right now. We are going to toss them in a Cajun spice seasoning that I'm just making. Then we are going to fry them in avocado oil on the stove. And then we're going to bake them and put this delicious buffalo sauce on it.
It's one meal that the kids have expressed interest, or they've enjoyed the taste that they've had.
Yeah, so we'll make that for all of us, and then maybe we'll do some sort of starch on the side for them and vegetables for all of us. Good family meal on keto. I'm coaching my daughter's soccer practice tonight, so I just need to make sure all the balls and all the equipment are ready, so I'm doing that quickly. Just going to take my ketones again with the Keto Mojo. 4.7. So see, that's pretty high. So that's my ketones. And now I'm going to do my glucose. $89. So now I can look on the Keto Mojo app and it will give me my GKI score. We're looking for a score of under 2.0. So I'm 1.0 right now, which is great. And I'm feeling good on that. So I'm just going to record that in my Chronometer app, and I think dinner is going to be ready soon. So what do we think of the keto meal?
I like them. It's good. It's good.
Thumbs up? Kid seal of approval. Well, other than the wee one, he's got pasta down there.
I can't see.
Okay, we're heading to soccer.
Yeah, I'm excited.
making fat bombs right now. Cream cheese, coconut oil, erythritol sugar, and cocoa powder, and then I throw in some almond butter as well. And they're good. I often put things in the microwave and then forget that they exist, and so there have been many recipes where I've thrown butter or oil or whatever in the microwave and it doesn't get added to the recipe, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of fat in butter. Melting coconut oil right now. Don't let me forget.
Why don't you use a mixer?
You know, because someone said in the comments of this recipe not to use a mixer.
Were they a sadist?
I think maybe. And I'm coachable, you know? I take advice. Naive, maybe? I don't know. Makes you work for it, you know? You appreciate it more. They're really mushy.
Our youngest today was calling these butt bombs. Instead of fat bombs, butt bombs. And these kind of look like butt bombs today, babe. Making some butt bombs.
We're going through potty training right now, and he is in a pooping in the underwear phase. So this is a little triggering.
Yeah, we've already had our hands dirty today.
Yeah, I've been here already today and I'm done. I have been really enjoying reading as a way of winding down at the end of the day, and that's something that I struggled with for a long time, is not really having the capacity to focus enough to be able to read through many stretches throughout navigating my illness. And it was kind of something that came and went, but since doing keto and working on metabolic health and whatnot, I've been able to focus again enough to read, and it's been a really enjoyable way to unwind at the end of the day. So got my tea, got my book, going to bed soon. So thanks for coming along with me on this day of doing medical keto as a treatment for my schizoaffective disorder. I'm still taking a smaller dose of my antipsychotics because it's really only been a month, but I have gone down and I have other videos that go into more detail about that, but this is what I do at the end of the night. Bye.